Please make it loud for Josh Johnson.
When I was growing up, I would hear these stories of people who were like really in the life, like they were doing bad things. They were like, this is bad. Probably gonna go to jail. And I heard this story one time. This dude, everybody got locked up, but there was this trap house. In case you're not aware, a trap house is where illicit materials are sold. Sometimes you might say trap house, or there might be someone who's like, so booby traps? Like, is it the trap door situation? Like when you walk in, watch out for the wire, you're gonna fall down to the basement? No, I mean drugs. I mean the buying and selling of drugs. And so this trap house was known for being pretty busy. It had become so busy that they had bought some property, several blocks away and opened up another trap house. Business was booming. Things are going very well. Whenever you are selling so many drugs that you have to buy property, we are entering documentary territory. Most trap houses are really just dudes playing video games until somebody knocks on the door. Like, it's not a busy day, and you gotta stay at trap house the whole time because you don't know when someone might get the itch. And so they opened up another trap house, but this location was not as poppin' for some reason. They must have opened it in a bad neighborhood. Can you imagine being on drugs, being like, I'm not going over there though, that's dangerous. And so even though they opened another location, and even though they tried to tell people, hey, you can come here or you can go over there, people liked the original trap house. It stayed just as busy as ever, with some business going on at the second location, but mostly it was here, right? And, okay. Let's just call him Jerry, all right? Jerry ran both trap houses. And he did a pretty decent job, kept his books, kept his finances, really, like, he knew his inventory, He could have made a great store manager at any grocery store. There was this dude named Twan, and Twan found out about these very popular trap houses. Well, one popular, one not so popular, right? And he made a plan to rob the trap house, the main one, the lucrative one, right? So his plan for robbing the lucrative trap house was to basically set up a diversion at the one that wasn't as busy. So he basically faked a robbery at the one that was not as busy. He had some guys go over there, bang on the door, act like they had guns. They were about to break in because he knew it would make everyone call Jerry. Jerry and his boys would go over there. By the time they get there, those guys have already left. And then the main trap house is left defenseless. They break in, Twan and them break in, they steal all this money out of the trap house, right? Take it back to their place. Now their place is a stash house. Stash house should be self-explanatory. If I've lost you at stash house, I cannot help you. But the trap house has been robbed. Everything's been taken back to the stash house, okay? And then Twan and his boys thought they had made a killing. They were like, this is great. No one even knows that it was us, because they had planned it very well. They planned it all the way down to the detail of if those guys who did the fake robbery got caught, they wouldn't even know who hired them, right? But Jerry's no fool. Jerry started asking around, and he could kind of tell that some of these guys were lying, some of these guys weren't lying. He traced everything back to Twan. And so he set up a plan to rob Twan's stash house. To go in there and not just get his stuff back, but take the rest of whatever was in there. And his plan wasn't as meticulous. He just sort of ran up in there with a lot of men and guns. Now, what he did do is he waited. He learned the routine. He learned who would be there when. It took months. And then finally, he was like, we're going to do it on Tuesday. They never paying attention on Tuesday. We're going to run up in there. It's only going to be like 5 of them. If it's 15 of us, I don't think we'll meet a lot of resistance. It's not like it's their money. It's Twan's money. And so that's what they did. They broke up in there, went ahead, zip-tied everybody, and took everything, which took several trips. The people at the stash house did have to watch themselves be robbed for quite a while. I'm mad you over here. You're not gonna get away with this. Then you think they've left, they come back in the door. Left all this right here. And so then one of them, being new to the lifestyle, being a new, some would say prospect gang member, was so appalled at the theft that when he freed himself, lacking all presence of mind, called the police. This man called the police. It was like they ran up in there, they had guns and everything. They had a gun to my hands. He's telling all this to 911. They took everything. They took the weed. They took all the money. Took my favorite Glock. And some people were duct taped and everything, duct taped over the mouth, zip tied behind everything. So when, as soon as he called 911, he started freeing everybody else. As soon as he ripped that tape off, they're like, "What is wrong with you? We gotta get out of here now." And so then they all left. They all ran up out of there because the police, catching wind that there was a robbery of the stash house, made themselves available immediately. Look, they got out in time not to get caught. They got out in time to see the police raiding the stash house from a few doors down. And that's the thing, is like people say, crime doesn't pay, or like criminals are dumb or whatever. But there are some very smart people who, for whatever reason, enter a certain lifestyle, choose to stay there, or maybe it's all that they know. And if criminals were so dumb, they wouldn't be fascinated. We are fascinated by career criminals. We're fascinated by people who do things that aren't just illegal. They have the gall to try to pull something off that has so many different entry points to danger. Like, just in the past few days, the Louvre was robbed. And I have not been able to settle. This is amazing. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the Louvre or the Louvre or whatever, it's one of the most visited museums in the world, and people go there and then they act like they've been changed by art. And you ask them what they saw, they can't name anything or anybody. They were just like, "No, the Mona Lisa was there, looking unimpressed." Well, there were these robbers that broke in. And they broke in dressed as construction workers, right? They had actually rented this like powerlifting vehicle that had a ladder that would bring them up to the next level where they could cut in, because they brought tools to cut in through the window and enter that way. They didn't want to just come through the front. And it made sense that they were dressed as construction workers, because the Louvre is under construction. Permanently, I guess. It's always under. Why is Europe never finished? Europe always, all of Europe, always, unless you're out in the country, there's always like, "Oh, we gonna fix this road." We've been working on it since 1822. But that's y'all's fault. Y'all keep changing the roads. We just, right when we finished the cobblestone, y'all were like, no, it's asphalt now. And so look, they break in, and they break in with these power tools. They had like an angle grinder and everything. And that's when the alarms were going off and stuff. And then they get in through this museum window. And the part of the museum that they're in is where these rare crown jewels are being held, right? They didn't bother with the Mona Lisa. There was a crowd. There's a line. You'd never make it out. People be like, no, I want to see. And people keep, they keep criticizing the security. They keep criticizing the people that were doing security. But those people did approach them. They were like, hey, you don't. you better not. Because what is museum security really supposed to do? Let's be honest. Let's be real. If you work security in any format, they should arm you with as much as it takes to protect what's supposedly valuable. Think about this. When you see someone working for like Brinks, right? And they bring a Brinks truck to do a deposit for a bank. Let's say a whole grocery store is like, hey, we got like $250,000 that we need to transport over to the bank to make our deposit. The bank is like, don't worry, we'll send somebody. They hire Brinks. Brinks comes over. They have a truck. And not just a truck, like a bulletproof truck. And then they get two people. They get two people to make sure nobody knocks you over the head when you're trying to grab the bags and put them in the truck. They get two people. And not just two people. Two of the biggest people you've ever seen. Like two people that are so big that it's like you are the gun, right? And then I think they give them a gun. They always hold in their pocket. Maybe they don't have a gun, but it looks like they have a gun. And they don't give them cuffs because they don't plan on taking any prisoners. And then they get in there, Brinks always handles a drop like they are being robbed. Like they always handle the drop the way a bank robber would handle the drop. Because I used to work at a grocery store, and Brinks would come in and they'd be like, so where is your safe, or when you, hurry. And we'd be like, oh, it's over here. Okay, it's over here, all right. And then the one would get to work putting, the other one just watching us. I'm ringing people up. I'm putting more money in the till. And they were still like, but you might try anything. I don't know you. And then they would leave, and they'd leave all fast. And then they'd run into the truck, throw everything in the truck. And then they would always peel out a little bit, which made me uncomfortable. One time they came and did a pickup, and I was like, y'all sure that was Brinks? Because they were a little squirrely. But then, for some reason, there are times where you're supposed to protect, or you're supposed to hold guard of something, and you're giving less and less resources as you do it. Like, you look at a Brinks security guard, and then you look at like a mall cop. They're like, you get one flashlight. I guess shine it in their eyes or something. If you hit somebody hard enough in the head with it, the glass will break. That's something. But nobody gets done dirtier. Nobody gets done dirtier than museum security. Museum security, not only do they give you nothing, no flashlight, they don't even give you a stapler to hit somebody with. They give you nothing. All they give you is a dress code. They're like, hey, just show up in all black, nobody will mess with you. You show up in a black shirt with a black suit jacket and some black pants and black shoes, people think you John Wick. They won't even approach any of the art. Because truly, what is a museum security guard supposed to do? I go to a lot of museums. I try to go to a museum in every city that I do a show, if I can, right? And I've been in these museums, beautiful art. And then you see, you get a little too close, and you see this thing go off, this like little, you don't even know where the alarm is, but like it'll just, that's the too close alarm. Because it's not like a real alarm, it's just annoying, and it goes off until you back up. So if you're a pointer, I go to a lot of museums with pointers. Everyone I take to a museum love to point. It's like we all three again, and they're like, I like the flap. And as soon as you hear, somebody works for the museum, comes over, black everything, with an attitude. Could you not? Ma'am, back up. They love that hair. Back up. Give it a little space. Let the art breathe. And you want to know? You want to know who a museum security guard's arch nemesis is? Because it's not like a grown man. It's not a grown woman. It is any child. Any child will ruin their day. Because I don't know what it is about the frequency of the alarm, but if you're 4, you can't hear it. If you're 4, you're like. I was at this museum one time. This security guard was in a true predicament because this child was out here touching everything. He was touching it to the point that it sounded like their alarm was going off to the tune of Mary Had a Little Lamb. And finally, the security guard started like chasing his child around, and not like really chasing him, not like Dennis the Menace chasing him, but just like following them around, hoping to maybe this kid's gonna go back up to their parents or something and be like, "Can you please hold your child's hand or something?" Because they've been touching everything, got applesauce on everything. Because as a security guard, what are you gonna do? You can't grab this kid. You can't actually grab this. I know that sounds crazy to anybody who was born in any era before now. You have to kind of let this kid put applesauce on all the art, because if you touch this kid, you've committed murder. So if you snatch this kid and even hold their hand so you can find their parent, you are basically killing them. So you have to like let them kind of do it, but then follow them around, but then not touch them, but then make sure they don't touch anything. It would look terrible. And so finally, this security guard just started running interference on every item. This child was walking up, getting ready to touch a sculpture. Security guard get in there. No. Just trying to box him out of every room. And then finally, this kid, realized what was going on. Felt like it was a game. So this kid is like, "Oh, you want to play? I love to play. Playing's my favorite thing. Playing's basically my job." And so he running interference. There's a painting. And finally, this kid gets boxed in. And even the security guard's like, "I don't know what to do now." Because like, this would be when you would like snatch their hand and be like, "Hey, is your child not with you in the museum? I might have them." But he was like, doesn't want to touch this kid, but doesn't want the kid to touch anything else, but then is in the corner, but then is also a grown man cornering a child in a corner. Just because you're at work doesn't make it look better. All this kid has to yell is "stop," and you going straight to jail. I'm your only witness, and I'm not really here right now. And so his kid boxed into the corner, and you can see the kids having fun. Kids over here. Nowhere to go but under. This kid slipped under his legs and ran away. This man turned around. They started chasing after this kid even more, and then the kid went to the only room he hadn't got applesauce on. And was next to this painting. I don't really remember who painted this, but it was a huge, huge painting of a ship in a storm. And it was one of those that was like, it was a marvel because of its scale. So it's not like one that you just hang up and 6x8, whatever. This thing was huge. It took up almost the entire wall, which meant he could definitely reach it. This kid walked up to the painting, and now the whole thing is a game. Touching the stuff's a game, trying not to get caught is a game. This kid's having fun. He thought museums were boring. He's having the time of his life. This kid standing next to the painting. And admittedly, I was also running after them so I could keep watching. I didn't try to help at all, but I was like, I gotta see the rest of this. Like, what you gonna do? This man gonna run out of breath soon. Security guard gets in the room, huffing and puffing. And he just goes, even the kid for a second was like, ooh, are you? I might have killed a grandpa. I don't even... And then this kid goes in his pocket and lifts an applesauce covered finger. And I was like, it's been in his pocket the whole time. Children are disgusting. This kid been running around with a pocket full of applesauce this entire museum trip. And then Unc running security goes, don't. This kid, no words, no emotion in his eyes. You can tell he gonna grow up to be a bad person. This kid, applesauce covered finger just went. And so if a security guard is defenseless against a child, what do you expect them to do against actual robbers with angle rods that they just used to break into the second floor window? Because the security ran up on them, no, hey, get out of here, none of that. And then they went, security was like, you know what, let us help you. Everybody out. Everybody out. Everybody get out now. Security made everybody get out but them. Don't you see these men working? Get out. They over here on time crunch. And you over here, ooh, look at the jewels. Get out. In fact, there was a news report that cracked me up. I laughed so hard because the security report, there was this person who, I don't think they were like head of security for the Louvre or anything, but they were basically like, it is museum security's #1 job to make sure the people are safe, and that's what they did. They made sure the people were safe. I was like, you are changing the narrative right now, because anytime I got too close to a painting and I heard the and then I had somebody come over, it didn't seem like it was for my protection. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they were running up, hey, that one, that painting, that wakes up. Don't get close. Please. And so then, robbers start grabbing everything, grabbing these like Napoleon era empire crown jewels, right? They grab so much, they grab too much. They actually grab so much, they drop one. They drop one of the crowns outside. And this is gonna sound dumb. This will sound dumb, so bear with me, because I know it's gonna sound dumb, but I don't think it's dumb, all right? I thought, truly, even when I went to museums, for as many museums as I go to, I've been to museums in Europe, I go to museums here, I go to every museum that I can. I thought for certain that when you see something in a museum, that under certain circumstances is a replica. I can tell by your reaction that some of y'all think I'm dumb and some of y'all think what I thought. I'm telling you right now, when I would go to the museum, I would admire the brushstrokes, I'd admire everything, but I would be like, this is the fake one though. Like this has to be the fake one. And I thought that because if you remember, right before 2020 and even after the pandemic, you would have activists that would go to museums. These, climate activists would go to museums and they just throw like tomato soup on supposedly priceless paintings, right? They would go up to like a Van Gogh and be like, blah, and then they glue themselves to the wall or something, and then they would be like, this is why we did this, and you will have to listen to me for as long as it takes to unsuperglue my hand from the wall. Because people who are climate activists feel like no one is listening to the point where the only thing that will get any attention or like stop people for a second to listen to them is just extreme acts that knock you out of whack. You know what I mean? Just things that you go, what? What? They did what? Why did they do that? And then they get to explain. It's like the better version of canvassing, because they tried to canvass. They really did. Everyone that cares about the climate tried to canvass, and what did you do? You walk by them. They were like, do you have a minute for the planet? And you're like, I'm headed to work, please. I was with a friend one time, and look, I've stopped plenty of times. I can't stop every time. And so they were like, do you have a minute for the planet? And then my buddy was like, nah, we're good. And, kept walking, have a good day. And this dude got really bad. This dude canvassed and was like, you on the planet? You don't have a minute for the planet you on? But that was happening a decent amount. There were these supposedly priceless paintings. They were getting vandalized, people throwing Campbell's soup on them and everything. So then I was like, surely a museum would not allow Campbell's soup to get thrown on the real one, like the regular one, because the museum was always super chill about it. The museum, they would like throw tomato soup on a Van Gogh and the museum would be like, stuff happens, we gonna get it off. You gonna what? You gonna get it off? Because when I got close, when I tried to smell the painting, I heard, and then you came over, no smelling. It was get it off, no big deal. Or you would see things like I don't know about you, but the tomato soup that I eat got a little oil to it, and you throw it on an oil painting, it seems like it might leave a stain. I have no idea. But then you would see the museum come out and be like, no permanent damage was done to the artwork. And I'm like, how? I've dropped suits that were clear on my hoodie before it had the stain forever. How's this 200-year-old acrylic painting fine? It must be a fake. I used to think that, look, if you go to a museum and you see just like you could touch it, that one can't be real. But if you go to a museum and it's behind glass, that's the real one, because they bothered to protect it. Why are you just bothering to protect some pieces? That doesn't make sense to me. So then, in my head, I was like, those aren't the jewels. You know what I mean? That's just colored glass. These people so stupid, they ran up in there and risked their freedom for some colored glass. And then the French government came out and said, priceless items have been stolen from the Louvre. And I was like, that's the real jewel! Y'all didn't run any armed security around the real crown jewels? For a split second, I felt like it was my money. I was like, what are y'all doing? Ooh, I need to sit down. You said it was priceless, and then right after saying it was priceless, they were like, it's about $100 million. I was like, oh, seems like a price. You said priceless for a day and a half, and then immediately y'all were like, I think 103 probably. At least round up to 110. And then, in my opinion, museum handled it wrong. They were over here freaking out. Everybody, the French government, they got everybody on it. They got like their version of the FBI. They have the local police. They have everybody on it. They plastered all the jewels that were missing all over international news and everything. If I was trying to save face, let's say I was head of museum security, and I was trying to save face, I would come out to the public immediately after the robbery and be like, y'all, that was Banksy. Y'all know Banksy played too much. But this is where I wish that they had done a better job of being creative, being inventive, You've just been robbed, one of the boldest robberies that we've seen. And you are the most visited museum in the world. Why don't you just see this as a W? You know what I mean? Instead of freaking out and shutting down the whole wing and staying closed for a day, all you gotta do is put that tape around the crime scene and make that an exhibit. We all wanna see it. Bring people in. Make the security guards that didn't do their job, the tour guides, just be like, it was 4 of them. They ran up in here. I was like, hey, get out of here. And they were like, ving, ving, ving. I was like, you right. All right, I'm gonna go. But I'm telling everybody, and that's why I'm telling you now. And yeah, you can see the glass right here. Take a piece of glass home. You can take a piece of glass home if you want. The jewels used to be right there. That's crazy, right? Jewels used to be just like, and the light used to hit it like that, but then they brought the grinder and so. But they were real ones. That's why I'm doing this now, or else I'd be fired. Oh, that sucks. It does. It sucks because, like, it's just gonna turn museum security into TSA. You know what I mean? Because look, this was, as far as museum security goes, this was their 9/11. So if you think you're just gonna roll up in there and have a good time, that's not what's gonna happen. You're gonna show up and they're gonna be like, all right, shoes off. They all gonna have the wand now. Oh, brutal stuff. You're gonna walk into your local museum. You're not even in France. But there's gonna be that security guard takes his job extra serious and be like, you're not gonna get me, not today. Pants down. Pants down. No, I gotta check. You could have anything. You could have an angle grinder in your pants or something. You know, we have some very expensive cups here. I love a tour guide at a museum because then they'll tell you how expensive something is. And at least with the pottery, maybe this is me not being cultured, but some of the pottery that's in museums, and then they'll tell the story of how the pottery got to the museum, and then they'll be like, you know, this is worth easily $100,000. And I'll be like, nah, it's not. It's not. Like, it isn't. Like, it is not. As much as it is here, it is not worth that. Like the function of is, like it is here, like it exists, like it is. It is here. And it is not worth that. And you know how it's not? I know it's not worth that. I know it's not worth that. Because you had to tell me how much it was, because I thought it was worth nothing. I thought y'all dug it up and brought it here, because y'all were like, this was just in the ground. Isn't that interesting? I bet you people aren't leaning over the register at the gift shop being like, how much was that clay cup? I only have 50,000 on me. Dang. I would have loved that clay cup that looked like a caveman did it. Because I need to be clear here. I'm not just trying to be rude. The one that I'm talking about, it wasn't like some beautiful African art. It wasn't like a Greek pot or something that was painted with a story on it. It just looked lumpy. It just looked lumpy to the point where I was like, even when they drank out of this, there's no way they got the water on a consistent basis. You could tell it's primitive because it looked like a cup that gulps. Looked like it pours when it wants to. Lip of it all uneven and everything. This is $100,000. I'm like, all right. You sure you didn't look at it too fast and add 2 extra zeros? Because I don't think so. There was a guy. There was really, really rich guy, apparently. I don't know. I don't know him, but everybody was saying how rich he was. And he got on the Instagram to actually, physically cry about the crown jewels being stolen. And he gave this whole speech about how, like, the robbers, because there's this assumption that the robbers aren't gonna be able to just sell the jewels they stole as is. There are plenty of people in the world that would pay the money it would take to sell them just as is, and maybe they just keep it and only they know they have it. But art collectors usually like to show off their collection. And so they can't tell anybody. So it's better just go ahead and maybe melt it down, sell the jewels. The jewels themselves are still very expensive. In fact, you'll see where throughout history, pieces have been stolen. Mona Lisa was stolen before. Pieces sometimes get stolen, but unless you can sell it to someone, what's it really worth? And so there's speculation that already these jewels have been melted down and being sold for parts, or maybe pieces are being sold that might not be able to be traced back to the complete set. And this guy got on social and he was just crying. Dude had to be in his like 50s, something like that. And he was like, it was that crying where, okay, you know, it was like the crying you do when you're little, but you let yourself do it again when you get grown if something gets to you enough. Which is crazy because he went online to cry but then was fighting the crying. But he's fighting the crying to camera. But then just don't turn the camera on yet. Like if you let it out real quick and then do your video. You doing the video, like no one putting the video in your face right now. You doing the video and you, wait, just wait. No one asked for this video. You could wait a day. You could wait till you're over it, or you could just not do it. But this dude got, some people just cry like they choking, and it's just, and then he said a bunch of stuff, and he did say it in French, and I don't speak French, so I'm gonna paraphrase from what everybody said he was saying, but I know he said some of this because a lot of people said he said it, and then I know there's some of it that might be like editorializing what he said because I don't know if he said that because I don't speak any French, and then also he didn't even say what he said in French well because he was crying through the whole thing. Like, and look, to be fair, maybe some of that was crying and maybe a little bit of that was the accent. Maybe some of that was the accent because there are certain people that when they speak French, they do seem upset for no reason, so then that's... It's like, was that a cry or was that one? Were you saying one just now? Were you like, or is that you trying to hold it together? Because that's why you should have waited to make the big... That's a cry. That was not French. That one... And what this dude basically said was that you didn't just steal from the Louvre. You stole from the French people. You stole a piece of our heritage. You stole a piece of our history. And if you melt that down, if you repurpose that, if you sell that, you will burn in hell because you have stolen from the people. And I'm almost positive. I don't know everyone who's seen the video. I just know that I saw it. But I'm sure if you saw that video and you were from Africa or Brazil or just anywhere, I'm sure you watched it and you were like, oh no. Someone stole a piece of your heritage? What are you gonna do? Someone in Sri Lanka is like, not France. What are you gonna do? And look, I can understand if you are from some of those other countries, if you're from like an African country or something like that, if you're from Haiti, you see this thing that you might be like, oh no, not the Louvre. They have our stuff too. Did they steal our stuff? Now it's gonna be harder to find because that's also what was there. So now, oh no, someone stole it. You know? I just love the story so much. I love the robbers. Cause look, cause they even showed up. They weren't just dressed as a construction outfit. They had on the, you know what I mean, the thing, mask and top and bottom. You know, they were wearing the baklava. I don't know. I love this crime so much because it feels a lot like. It feels a lot like somebody that runs a trap house robbing the stash house, and then the person from the stash house is like, we gotta call the police. I can't believe somebody would steal from us. This is unacceptable behavior. We stole all this stuff fair and square. This was ours. And then they took it from us in an act of injustice. Stanford, y'all have been amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. I hope you have a phenomenal time.
Milwaukee, make some noise for your headliner, Josh Johnson.
I've been very excited. I've been very, very excited. Been highly anticipating a bout that's coming up. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Some of you may have not known that this was going to happen, but in case you didn't, Mike Tyson is going to box Jake Paul, and I'm excited more for the spectacle than the actual fight. I don't know what's going to happen in the fight exactly, but it is one of the wildest encounters of two people punching each other that you could have ever imagined. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, a star, a bona fide star globally of the 80s, fighting one of the most popular influencers that the modern era has to offer. And it just feels like somehow the 80s are fighting the 20s. Do you know what I mean? Like, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul feels like Sylvester Stallone versus Liam Hemsworth. It's like, you're just kind of like, what? How? How are they even close enough in age to have anything to argue about? This is crazy. If you don't know Mike Tyson, I know that some people are too young to have like really watched him fight. I'm too young to have like remembered those fights live. Some of them I wasn't even around for, but I watched the tape and it's devastating. Mike Tyson is one of the most bona fide terrifying people. You know what I mean? Some of the things that Mike Tyson would just say, I'd be like, oh, to even think it, you must be willing to do it. Do you know, like there was a press conference one time where Mike Tyson was sitting there and he's like, this thing, I don't think these guys understand. I'm not here to just box. I'm not here to fight or anything. I'm trying to take their health. Sir, the question was, what has your preparation been for this match? Mike Tyson he's like an embodiment of like everything like fierce, violent, and dangerous in one person that also very much loves birds. And what's wild about Mike Tyson is that from the time that he was young, right, to present, he had taken a genuine, not only interest, but maybe an obsession with the way that the world works, understanding oneself and understanding the world and how who you are applies to the world, right? So he said some of the most fascinating things around Alexander the Great, around conquerors, around kings, around how to win a mental battle as well as like a physical one, how war works. He has such an understanding of the world. And then he says other things. Other things that are so scary that you're like, sir, just shoot me. Don't want to have to deal with this, you know? And a lot of it bleeds together because it's not my time, right? I'm not like from that era, but you watch these old compilations of press conferences and interviews and post-fight interviews with Mike Tyson. I was scared for the reporter. Because you have a man who's been training to basically kill a man with his fists, even if it took him 12 rounds, and it took half of one. So by the time you interview him, he's still got a lot of energy. There was one time they were trying to interview Mike Tyson after a fight. They're in the ring with him. They're putting the mic in his face and everything. And he's so amped and he's talking. He's like, y'all don't understand. Like, I'm from Sonny Liston's cloth. I'm the most fierce. And he starts describing not just who he is as a boxer, but his training and everything. And then at the end of it, he goes, I don't know, man. What? And I think if I had been the reporter, I'd also be like, nothing. I didn't say anything. Don't worry about me. Mike Tyson press conference was a masterclass in psychological warfare. He would say things that had you thinking like, oh man, this dude's like out of his mind. Or this dude really wants to kill me and I don't know him. That's gotta be tough as a fighter, to sign up for a fight. And you know we both fight. But one of us loves fighting. And we both like it, that's why we do it, and we're both good at it, that's why we do it. But one of us is so excited to hit, they don't care if they get hit. It's a very different person. Do you know what I mean? Even when you're mad, even when you're angry, and you're like, that's it, let's fight. You're trying to get the aggression out, and you want to hurt the other person. And yeah, maybe you're willing to take a few punches, but you aren't in a fight loving getting hit just so you can give a hit. Takes a different type of person, and Mike is a different type of person. You know? When you look at where Mike Tyson comes from, it's astounding that he made it to where he was. You know? Mike Tyson comes from Brooklyn, was in Bed-Stuy, and then at a young age moves to Bronzeville, and it's devastating because it's not the Brooklyn that you know now. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. There were no cupcake shops. It was Brooklyn in a way that was. Let's say the property would be cheap, all right? Like if you were trying to buy, all right? Devastating conditions. And he talks about how there was just, you couldn't even go to the bathroom inside sometimes where they were staying and stuff. And all that stuff can make a hardened person. Because he didn't just have to live in certain conditions, he had conditions waiting for him when he got outside. He talked about it, he had to fight. He had to fight all the time. He had to be ready to be tough all the time. People will test you all the time, right? He talked about his first fight. Because like I said, Mike Tyson loves birds. It's truly one of the sweetest things about him. It's one of the things that like gives you a glimpse into the humanity of a person that's only known as being this fierce beast, right? Loving these birds, being gentle with them, caring for them, spending time with them, you know? Really taking care of him. And when he was a kid, there was a kid who took his bird. And he was like, give it back, give it back, give it back. And give it back, I think give it back genuinely in the way that a kid is asking you earnestly from the bottom of their heart. No, please, 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 please give it back, right? And that kid killed that bird in front of him. And then Mike Tyson, I'm assuming, killed that kid because he at least let him remember what would happen. And Mike would get into trouble, and it's easy to say, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this, right? All those things can be true. Obviously, you shouldn't be robbing people, you shouldn't be selling stuff, you shouldn't be out here with these people who are on a bad path and everything. But when you have what looks like no other option from those things, how can you expect someone to just know? You drive down the path that's been paved, you know? And so he ends up in like detention centers and stuff like that. And at one point, Mike Tyson meets Customato. Customato sees him, and immediately he knows. He knows this kid is special and he's different. And not only just because he's built different, not only because he's big for his age, there's just something about him. And he gets the opportunity to like box a little bit. He goes to the gym, he's hitting bags and stuff, spars a little bit. And Customato sees in something in him. And after sparring, you know, as the story goes, they ask this kid who's just sparred with some grown men, how old are you? And then Mike goes, I'm 13. And then these grown men look at each other and go, this nigga at least 30. Like, there's no way. You better put a 0 behind that 13. That's, what? 13. And Customato, to my knowledge, actually adopts Mike Tyson. Takes him into his home, right? Not just to train him, but to care for him, to love him. you know? Because all of this energy, all this fierce potential can really go somewhere if you nurture it, right? And then under Cus D'Amato's leadership, Mike Tyson does become as fierce of a person as Cus D'Amato thinks he can be in the ring. And Cus believed in him before he believed in himself. I think that's why their friendship, that mentorship is like, when you see it, there's something special about it. Because anyone who sees anything in any of us and pulls it out of you, right, just with their belief, that's a very special thing. And the only people that wish Cus D'Amato hadn't done what he did are probably Mike's opponents. Because Mike would have fights that were so damn fast. You can see it even in the video, even in some of the amateur fights that were actually on video. You can see in the opponent where they were like, does he have a hammer? What is he doing? That really hurt. No. And then Mike gets older. Mike becomes world champion, youngest world champion, right? In there with a boxer with real experience, who's also a special fighter, right? But Mike hits him in a way that maybe he's never been hit before. And if you go back and you watch the video of this knockout, I shouldn't laugh, but Mike didn't just knock this dude out. Like, he didn't knock him out cold, right? This dude gets knocked down again, and he's trying to get up, and you can tell that his body is like, dog, we done. Don't. No. You know, like when you're in a bar fight and your buddies hold you back, that was that guy's whole body. Like, you can even hear the announcer be like, oh, he's fighting to get up, but his body won't let him, because his body is like parts of him that didn't get hit. This dude got hit in his head and the chin, and even his feet and his knees and his hips were like, look, if you ever want to speak to us again, don't stack us up on top of each other right now. You need to sit down. And then Mike Tyson becomes world champion. He becomes everything that Cus D'Amato thought he could be. He becomes everything that he knew he was, right? It's a beautiful moment. And then it's important when you think of Mike Tyson to understand that Mike Tyson is America. A lot of Mike Tyson's story is how America works, right? There are parts of this country that if you travel to, you'll think you're in another country for how poor they are, how broken, the conditions that people are living in. You know, it looks like the developing world in some parts of America, and we don't like to talk about it. We especially don't like to take care of those people because it means we have to really look at ourselves to do it. But there are people that come out of those conditions that build themselves up into something that no one else could have imagined based on where they started, right? Mike Tyson is just like America. Mike Tyson is fierce, fearsome, you know, incredibly violent. People in other countries look at America the way that we look at Mike Tyson. Genuinely, if you travel, and I mean really travel, I'm not talking about just go to the tourist spots and the places that are popular to go. If you really travel and you know world history and you go to a place and you ask them about America, right? A country that we've attacked before, you know? They look at us like we have a tattoo on our face. Mike Tyson builds himself up, and he doesn't just get the world championship. He has some very, very impressive fights where you can average his whole fight time out to like maybe a round and a half. He's beating people so fast it's actually upsetting the crowd. I know people who paid a lot of money to go to a Mike Tyson fight and went in the bathroom at the wrong time. Sit there the whole fight card holding it, and then you're like, oh, he's only walking out, I got a second. And then from the bathroom you hear, oh. You're like, oh no. I mean, then Mike goes down a downward spiral. He loses Cus D'Amato. He loses this person that was a mentor, that was a friend, you know? And he tries to find his way, but he's still very young. People forget how young he was when he was Mike, when he was Iron Mike, and he was fearless and he was undefeated, and starts, you know, getting lost in it. And he'll tell you that. He's talked about that. He got lost, right? Goes to jail at one point. Like, this dude is on a dark path, you know? And even, I mean, this is attributed to Mike Tyson. I don't know if he actually said it like this, but he was like, I was a baby, and you gave me millions of dollars to punch people in the face And you didn't think this was gonna go off the rails somehow? Like you didn't think that this was a bad idea, maybe? No. That's who's fighting. This guy who's relentless, you know? So much fear. Imagine you're in the ring with Mike Tyson and he won't stop staring. Just the face-off, just watching the face-off. You would see it in his eyes. He's like, I would very much like to hurt someone today. And legally, it's you. And he was fast, and his movements were jerky, but they were quick, and they clearly hurt, because some very big men did not get up. He would hit people so hard sometimes that you'd be like, I think that guy's dead. And then he'd twitch and be like, he's all right. That's who's fighting. And then you have Jake Paul. One thing people need to understand about Jake Paul, if you don't, he's very much, we are in Jake Paul's time. Whether we like it when I say that or not, he's having his Mike Tyson moments right now. World famous around the world. People tune in from around the world. They watch his fights. They watch his YouTube videos. This dude is a true bona fide star, right? And we can argue about if he's as popular as Mike was back then and why the internet is different, but he is very popular, you know. And he loved boxing. He feels like boxing saved him. That's something similar that he has with Mike, because this kid, he got a camera from his dad, him and his brother, when they were young, and it was to film themselves while they were doing football so that they could improve, right? Which I don't know how that works. I don't play enough football. Like if I did that and tried to tape myself playing football to improve, I think I would just be like, this is where I got hit. And this is when I hit the ground. I think that's all I did. I don't know was that right? Is that how you do it? And so him and his brother start making videos, like little YouTube videos, whatever. They're putting them online. They're getting some looks every now and again. But then Vine came out. And if you don't know what Vine is like TikTok granddaddy. And they start making Vines, and they get very popular almost overnight. They are huge on Vine. Everybody thinks they're funny, and they love to follow them. They want to know what they're doing next. They're getting all this money, endorsements, everything. At one point, Jake Paul is on the Disney Channel. I don't really know what he was doing, but it was quick. And then they start posting to YouTube, and they start getting millions of subscribers on YouTube. These kids are bona fide popular, and they understand something that maybe the rest of us just don't, and that's why they are where they are. They understand internet culture. They understand marketing and business. They understand the way that the world is turning, right? And it's the age of the influencer, right? And a lot of people want to be influencers. Some people don't want to be. You can accidentally become famous, and that's a terrifying thing. You become famous in a way that you really didn't mean to. You know, you're just living your life, but somebody puts a cell phone on you, or you don't know you're in someone's shot, and you trip weird, and you go, and now you're, like that's who you are as a guy. And then people see you in the world, and they're like, hey, we love you, dude. We love, that's our favorite. Man, keep killing it, dog. Keep killing it. But before you know it, just one thing, just one meme, just one moment catapults you to this level of fame that no person can be prepared for. Whether you're Mike Tyson in the 80s or you're Jake Paul now, people don't understand that like fame that you weren't even trying to get can mess with your mind, right? And so Jake Paul was on a dark path as well. He was probably headed for a bad place, and then he started boxing and he loved it. And boxing to a degree saved him. And so he's out here boxing, you know? And at first he starts fighting like YouTubers, like fellow YouTubers, because that garners attention. Because sometimes you see two people who don't like each other, and you're like, man, it would be kind of funny if they fought. And this is the thing about us. We as people love a fight. Whether we like to admit that about ourselves or not, we love a fight. I've been walking down the street and seeing kids on the park sinking threes from far away, Steph Curry level, right? And I'm like impressed, and I maybe watch him do two more, and then I'm like, he's getting it in. He'll be fine. But if I see a fight in the park, I stop. Because I'm wondering, you know? But no, we're in this age where I think people sometimes want to be famous more than they want to do something. And that's where you get some of these things, some of these imitators of Jake Paul, of Logan Paul and stuff like that. There was a kid whose story, like, it blew my mind. Basically, there was this kid doing these pranks, and they were like barely pranks. It was just being obnoxious. It was just being like horrible to people and messing with people to try to get a reaction out of them. Because not only are we the new like influencers, everyone, all of us, all the time, it could happen to any one of us, but because of how people become influencers, because of how people get popular, they are our paparazzi now. You're just living your life, but now you're in someone's video and they're trying to make you act a certain way. That's not what we signed up for, you know? You should at least be rich to have that happen. And so this kid was making this video and he was messing with this guy in the mall and he was following him around. He was just like, not just being annoying. He seemed like to also be intimidating him a little bit. And he was really following him, trying to get him to answer some question or something. And finally, this little guy, he's like a very small guy, and he did not look well, right? He finally goes, stop, stop, stop. And then he pulled out a gun and shot him. And I am praying that's not him. This dude pulls out a gun and he shot him. There's this loud bang in the mall and people start screaming and running and everything. But from the vantage point of like the person who, because he posted it himself, the kid, the influencer who's making the prank video, posts the thing and he's coming at him and the guy's like, stop, 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 bang. And then as soon as you hear the bang, this kid, the prankster goes, oh! And to be fair, there's no cool way to get shot. But he goes, oh, and he hits the ground, and that guy walks off, and obviously he gets arrested and everything. They explain the situation. I believe he got released. And then this kid goes to the hospital. He's fine, right? He's fine. He got shot in the side, and he's fine. But when they ask him about it, they ask him how he feels about the fact that this thing happened. Like, is it change how he's going to make content? He got more followers from it happening because it got on the news and people wanted to see the kid that got shot and they wanted to see the other stuff that he did. So he did get more popular, right? And they wondered how he felt towards the gunman. This guy shot you and you were being annoying, but did you deserve to be shot, right? And then this kid sitting in his hospital bed, his dad, by the way, is furious. His dad is like, there are people saying my son deserved to be shot. My son's just a kid, right? And this kid sitting in his hospital bed, when he's asked these questions, goes, it is what it is, dog. Like, which I can't tell, is that a good attitude about it? But it lets me know it's not just a few people. It's not just a few individuals. We're in an age. It's an age of if I can be popular, maybe I can be safe, maybe I can be liked, maybe I can be something, whatever it is. But it's apparently worth being shot over for some people. And make no mistake, Jake Paul is America. I don't know how it feels to have me say that, but Jake Paul is America. A lot of what America embodies is what Jake Paul is, right? America is business, usually business first. We can worry about being a country later. It's business. And it's fame, and it's money, and it's influence, right? You go to some of these backdoor meetings that some of these world leaders have when America convinces them to do something. We don't know how they do it. Maybe it's with money. Maybe it's with other things. Maybe they're like, hey, look, we'd hate for something to happen to your whole island. Influence. See what I mean? And so now, you have these two boxing, and people don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, there are people that want Mike Tyson to hurt Jake Paul very badly. And then there are people who just want to see a fight. They just want to see what it would look like. You know what I mean? They just want to see what it would look like if, like, that guy from The Breakfast Club fought Timothy Chalamet. Like, just... They just want to see two generations go at it. You know? Because let's be honest, it's an odd fight, you know? Jake Paul has fought former MMA fighters, he's fought former NBA players, he's fought YouTubers, he's fought one established boxer, maybe two pro boxers that I know of, right? Because I don't know his entire record. But he said that the thing that made him do this, the thing that made him push for it and create it, was he did some ayahuasca. And when he did the ayahuasca, he said he saw himself fighting Mike Tyson. And if I'm being honest, taking ayahuasca and seeing yourself fighting Mike Tyson sounds like something Mike Tyson would say doing ayahuasca. Like, I could more clearly see Mike Tyson doing ayahuasca, and he's like, I saw myself fighting Jake Paul. I don't know, man. I had to think to myself, you know, if I did ayahuasca and I saw myself fighting Mike Tyson, I'd probably have to sit back and be like, maybe heroin's the answer. Like, I don't know. This ayahuasca is not it for me. No, thank you. You know? And so, as soon as he had that vision, though, he put it into motion. And that's the marketer, that's the businessman, that's the promoter in Jake Paul. He saw this thing and he had to create it. That's also America, by the way. You go to other countries and you're like, oh, I have this big dream of doing this thing. A lot of countries are set in their ways, right? America is properly crazy. We'll let you do anything, fundamentally. And so now they have a press conference. They're together, and Jake Paul's very good at being the heel, you know what I mean? But it's hard to be the heel when you're fighting Mike Tyson. Like, people might be booing you, but he's saying truly upsetting things. Mike Tyson was in a press conference one time, and he was like, look, all I want is for his kids to be watching us fight and see me beat them so bad that they're like, Daddy, no. Hearing Mike Tyson quotes out loud genuinely makes me want to learn Tai Chi, so in case I ever come across Mike Tyson, I can look like I'm about to fight him while also backing up. Like, and some people think that the fight's just a spectacle. Some people think it's a real fight. There are kids who think Jake Paul's got to beat Mike Tyson, right? Jake Paul's a great boxer. Let's see it happen. I'm so excited to see Jake Paul whoop this guy. There really are both sides to this thing. And it's going to be on Netflix, which who knows if that's a mistake. Do you know what I mean? Who knows if they fight and then one of them dies and we're just sitting there like, so are we accomplices or... Just sitting there, stoic, don't know what to do next, and Netflix is like, are you still watching? Not now, man. You know? And it's a gamble as well. It's a gamble. It's one of the biggest gambles we've seen because Mike Tyson is, to some degree, putting his legacy on the line. He's one of the most fierce fighters that's ever lived. People talk about Ali and Tyson. When they talk about boxing and they don't really know anything about it, you know those names. And then Jake Paul's putting something on the line too. It's like, I had this idea, I had this dream of fighting Mike Tyson, and maybe I'm just out of my mind and I'm going to be hurt very badly. And Netflix is putting something on the line because it's like, will people watch, will someone die? It's a genuine gamble. And if America is anything, it's a proper gamble. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we do. I don't know. I admire an aspect of what Jake is doing because Jake loves boxing. And no one will probably ever give him credit for it, but he is revitalizing a part of boxing. People talk about boxing a little bit more now because of the popularity that he brings in, the new kids that he brings in, and he's putting himself on the line because he loves boxing. And that to me is wild. Like, I love hip hop, but I wouldn't try to battle Kendrick Lamar. Like,
Hello, everybody. It's me and Josh Johnson. And me is Dulce Sloan. I'm not good at doing these intros, but I feel like Josh has been doing a lot of heavy lifting. And I'm feeling like a crumb bum over here, just letting Josh do all the work.
A crumb bum? A crumb bum?
Yeah, it's like we're co-hosting, but I'm like, if we're co-hosting, like, I got to do some of the work, too. You know
I
what
just
mean?
never heard that before. I've never heard crumb bum.
Oh, yeah, crumb bum. I think I heard crumb bum is almost like a yum yum, where it's like somebody, like, you ever know somebody that's just always like, they have the means, but they're always like just asking you for food?
Yeah.
Because it's not like the girlfriend saying, oh, I'm not hungry. It's not the same thing. This person is eating.
Yeah. They're eating well.
Right. But it's like, it's like, you know, do you want your cornbread? It's kind of like
Crumb bum.
a crumb bum.
We're so excited to bring this episode to you, the public, because it's one of contention. It's probably going to be the one that gets listeners the most fired up out of the ones that we've talked about. Because,
And then ketchup being tomato soup.
hey, let the past be the past.
Have you looked at the YouTube comments?
I will never look at those YouTube comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. That's one of the first things you learn as a comic is never look at the YouTube comments. If you're someone who's on TV,
Yeah.
never look at the YouTube comments. And I can tell you the ones that I've looked at, I don't know if there's a filter that goes through, because usually if you're a woman that looks like me on the internet, someone's calling you fat. Someone's taking the time from their American Heathen Day to type into Al Gore's internet that I have more than one chin. And one, they're not doing that unless someone from our team is just going through and being like, nope. Or YouTube finally cares about people, but I don't think that's happening. And wow, people are not feeling, because somebody was like, yo, Josh, I get it. You were trying to win, bro, but tomato soup being ketchup, I think you've gone too far, baby. I think you've really affected hearts and minds, Joshua.
I mean, all right, never mind. All the other episodes, it's like we're kind of deep now. Like, there's so many other episodes where I make salient points, and then this is the one that really sticks
People have
with
mentioned
people.
that. They're like, man, Josh has made so many other great points. What
Wow.
happened?
Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting because they're like, yo, dude, I know you were trying to win, but you went too far. You went too far to the other direction. You went too far to the left, bro. Left, right, up, down. You did too much. And so
I mean, this is the one that I will really affect people.
well, I think it's interesting because the topic for today is chocolate versus vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, I just want to take a second. If you were watching this on YouTube, stop the video after I ask this question. Who do you think is going to go for what? Do you think Josh is going to pick vanilla? Or do you think I'm going to pick vanilla? Do you think Josh is going to pick chocolate? Or I'm going to pick chocolate? Who do you think is going to pick what? I'm going to give you a second. So, just to let you know, this is chocolate versus vanilla. And guess what, y'all? Your girl, okay? Spicy Calderon. Your girl's team vanilla. Ha, you didn't see that coming, did you? Did you? You didn't think that me, old what's-her-face, was going to be picking vanilla. But I did. Isn't that wild? What a twist.
So help us out.
Yes.
Help us by explaining why vanilla for you.
I think vanilla for me, one, it is an ice cream flavor that I grew up with because my mom likes to add things to ice cream. So we would get the pecan sandies. We would put those in ice cream. Sometimes just as simple as, you know, throwing in your favorite cereal. Maybe putting your own little fruits. You know, vanilla was a carrier for flavors, right? Some of my favorite ice cream flavors like Moose Tracks, the base is vanilla. Like those flavored ice creams, like the I never really got into Ben and Jerry's mainly because it was expensive. But if you give me a Bluebell situation, you give me a Mayfield situation, a Mayfield Moose Tracks, a Mayfield Turtle Tracks, okay? If there's tracks, I'm eating them. If an animal is out here putting his imprint on the planet with caramel or chocolatates, Put it in my face, okay? I like vanilla. Basically, when I think of vanilla, I think of ice cream. And there's different types of vanillas. There's different kind of carrier flavors. One thing I used to really love to do is when we go to the Chinese buffet, because you grew up in the South, there were always Chinese buffets. At the end of the meal, you go get your little soft serve ice cream, and then I would add a little lemon juice, like a little fresh squeezed lemon. That was a nice palate cleanser after eating all the variety of things you eat at a Chinese buffet. I do honestly prefer it over, like, in cakes. I don't prefer, like, I've never had a chocolate birthday cake because I've never wanted a chocolate birthday cake. I've made chocolate birthday cakes. I've made chocolate cakes for people.
I guess this is my thing. This is where I feel like you are so misguided.
Wow, what the hell? Good night.
This is where. So I look at vanilla as one, right? As like if we are talking flavors, vanilla is the number one as far as units of flavor and taste. Okay? It's where you start. It's a good place to
you're
start.
telling me a scale from 1 to 10.
From 1 to 10. And I'll even say this. People give vanilla a 0. It's a 1 because it is a flavor. It's not plain. It's vanilla. Right? But you can't really enhance it. Like you said, it's a character. It's just
a carrier.
Oh, okay. It's a carrier. So then it's a platform for other flavors. It's not a real flavor that's out here striking joy into hearts and minds. It's just out here helping cherries and sprinkles get along.
But it's also, did you think about it as a collaborator, a peacekeeper, a helping hand to bring different flavors together?
How about this? I've enjoyed a triple chocolate cake. You can't have a triple vanilla anything. Because vanilla's vanilla, it's 1. And you can't multiply 1 times 1.
You can have a vanilla, well, I mean, it's not triple, but you can like have a vanilla cake with vanilla frosting. That's a thing that exists.
It's a thing that exists that all tastes the same. It's just a steady attack on your taste buds where you're getting overwhelmed with the vanilla.
Listen, I presented my case, okay? Now you present your case.
Okay.
Your very predictable case. Being team chocolate.
My very okay. All right. Chocolate came to us, blessed us, was discovered in multiple countries. All right. It came to us from multiple parts of the earth.
No,
you know, the
came
cacao.
From the New World.
What?
New World.
We talking about New World,
sir?
It's all been one world the entire time,
ma'am.
It's all been one planet. I'm not. No. Don't pull from that colonial history. The whole world's been the whole world the entire time.
The whole world has been the whole world the entire time. Yes, in God's eyes, He built one planet. I get it. It's these white folks with books that made it new and old. So they ain't known about chocolate. Are we trying to say that they know about chocolate? You're trying to say that chocolate was not in the it's in the conquered countries, conquered continent.
I mean, all I'm saying is what they called the New World was really the Old World because they just hadn't discovered it yet. But it had been around.
And that's why we call Native American Indians, because somebody didn't know where the fuck that was at. I hear you.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm just saying that chocolate doesn't come from one specific area or country in all of the world. Lots of countries bring us chocolate, and they bring us their spins on chocolate. And they bring us,
Have you seen that Ghana has told these white folks that you are no longer going to take a raw bean out of here and then process it on your own? We're going to process this shit, and you're going to have to pay us. Ghana is not playing with these hoes. Ghana, the president of Ghana, he is not playing with these white folks no more. You understand? He's like, y'all not going to be coming up in our country and taking shit. If you want this cacao, you have to come to us. You ain't getting raw beans. We going to process it and then give you that shit. Because you've been in here you've been getting uncut, the raw, okay? And don't want us to have no processing plants. Oh, boy said, fuck y'all. Keep praying for them. I'm worried about his safety. Because these white folks are a problem.
So, all I'm saying is chocolate comes to us at different degrees as well. So you can see the percentages. They tell us the percentages now of cacao in the chocolate.
Absolutely. And I just let you know how stepped on it is.
I understand, but that pure, right? So those bitter sweets, those 75%, those 25% and those Hershey's, they all have different flavors. They're all coming from a different place. Vanilla, it can't get stepped on because it comes out stepped on.
Have you ever seen a vanilla bean?
Yeah, I've seen a vanilla bean.
But that's an old world plant. So you have to remember, like, at one point, you know, we think of it as very generic because we have all the things here.
Yeah, because
like,
it is.
But at one time, sugar was exotic. Because motherfuckers didn't have sugar.
I mean, if we have to go in the past for vanilla to have a leg up,
sorry,
then like,
we just went to the past about chocolate. We just went to the past about chocolate. I'm not saying at one point all of these things were exotic. Italy didn't have noodles until Marco Polo came back from China. If it was not for the Chinese, the Italians, what would they be making? What are they cooking? What are they famous for?
real good meatballs.
And
like, as far as meatballs, fire.
sidebar, check this out. Tomatoes, New World plant. Noodles came from China. If it was not for somebody leaving Italy, what would they eat, bro?
Real good meatballs.
All olive oil, everything. So yeah, I'm just saying, fire meatballs. Fire this bread though.
So I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there that there are different degrees or different levels of chocolate. If we're just even going to keep it to bars, right? Bars, these bars, a vanilla bar is
Why are
fine.
you saying that so hard?
And a chocolate bar, that's how we want them. That's how we take them. That's how we love them.
Okay.
Chocolate bar. And how many types of chocolate bars are there? The most you're going to get out of vanilla bars is cookies and cream, which is still getting a little chocolate in it to help it along because it's struggling.
Vanilla is a bean. So you can't turn vanilla into a bar because it doesn't even have, it's like, if you think of all the things we do with like different beans, like soybeans and stuff like that, vanilla is like, it's dried and you're just taking the seeds out and it's very much like an extraction process. But there's no, like, I did not know probably until I was almost in college that cocoa butter comes from chocolate plant. I didn't know where cocoa butter came from.
Okay.
So like if you ever had like white chocolate, white chocolate is basically a stick of cocoa butter from what I've heard.
I mean, that I don't know enough to correct you, but the fact that you don't get any dark vanilla, but you can get white chocolate, just another way that chocolate is being more versatile in these streets. It's just another way that chocolate is coming at you in different colors and different flavors. I just think chocolate can go places vanilla can't.
That's an apple and orange situation. We're talking about flavors, right? 'Cause I think for me, I don't like white chocolate. I like milk chocolate, but I have found out that by going over, you know, going to Canada, going to Europe, going to Mexico, the rest of the world hates our chocolate. Apparently it's disgusting.
No, we're not doing well.
I did not know that our chocolate was trash. I did not know.
I've known for a long time that
I can say that
yeah.
I've never been a huge fan of our chocolate, like a Hershey bar. No, I don't want that. I don't want to eat a whole bar. First of all, a bar of chocolate always seemed like way too much.
But that's why they have the little divots for you to break it off, for you to have as much as you want to have while you're having it.
Because they know the whole thing is just ridiculous.
The whole thing is too much. Yeah.
Right.
The whole thing. Like, you break it per serving size. So even a Hershey bar, break 4 of those little things. Have that. Save that.
2 is my max, and then eventually I'll wrap it up and set it somewhere and go, either it's in the fridge for the rest of my life, or it's not. White chocolate isn't even really chocolate. It's chocolate that they've taken the cocoa out of. So there's no cocoa. It's just fat. And then they've injected chocolate flavor into it.
I see.
That.
No. I see the point
that.
that you're trying to make. But what I still see is vanilla struggling so hard that chocolate had to
Vanilla
do
is
a
not
plasma donation.
Wow. Or maybe
on behalf of the white colored candies.
Or maybe vanilla doesn't have to go with Sammy Sosa. Okay? Doesn't have to be the last generation of Michael Jackson to be out here doing his job, okay? I don't want to bring Michael into this. Sammy Sosa, we all know, looks like a thumb. Doesn't make any sense.
Don't act like I'm making you do these things. I didn't want to have to. Like you're pulling out all the stops now. Because of something
Vanilla knows who Vanilla is, and Vanilla's like, listen, I'm flavoring things, okay? I'm giving you, because look at this, the nature of the flavors, okay? Chocolate is heavy, okay? It's going to sit on the tongue. But there's a fat content. There's oils behind it. There's a lot of things that chocolate is doing because there are different aspects to it, right? Like, for vanilla, on the other hand, hey, baby, I'm a bean, and you put me in shit, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm doing cakes. I'm doing creams, all right? I'm giving you, it's a whole different campaign. There's way less processing when you're dealing with vanilla. No, there's no vanilla bars. Because if you try to make a vanilla bar, it'd be like a white chocolate situation where you need some type of base and then you're injecting flavor. But that's not how vanilla works. Vanilla is giving you a lightness, okay? Chocolate came in to be heavy. Chocolate came in to step on your feet and be like, hey, what's going on? What you doing? About to fuck up your teeth, okay? No kids going to the dentist or the dentist, okay? Ain't nobody sitting up getting caught with vanilla all on their face. It's not happening. Vanilla has better press because vanilla's a more refined situation. Vanilla's not out here in your whole Halloween. That's what Vanilla's doing. Vanilla's a classy bitch. All right, Vanilla's sitting down like, hey, yeah, Vanilla can't be in everything, okay? You got triple chocolate cakes. You got chocolate on chocolate on chocolate on chocolate. Vanilla comes in, boom, that's the flavor. There's vanilla and then there's a little vanilla bean. Chocolate, on the other hand, is letting you know it is stepped on like a motherfucker. Chocolate is letting you know, hey, I can be bitter, I can be sweet, I can be stepped on. All it is stepped on, okay? We know American chocolate. Okay, sidebar. Also, we have to mention this one thing. Have you ever had a chocolate orange?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
That was fine.
I think that's a flavor you have to grow up with.
No, I can see that because the people who love it have always been eating it. That's very fair.
And they're not American at all.
They also love to crack it to like open it. It's like an event. Like that's how you can tell that they grew up with it because they love to press down, which opens up all the slices and then they eat it.
I mean, as things go. But I was annoyed, one, when you bite into it that it's hollow.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing. I'm like, I thought there was going to be an orange cream situation. I thought this might have been a Cadbury situation. I thought they were going to give me more, right?
Okay.
They said orange, a chocolate orange. I thought that it was going to be more than just the shape of a fucking orange. But it's kind of cool that it's in slices. You can distribute it to your friends or to your children, right? It's cool. It's whatever. I'm just saying, I've had a whole type of chocolate. Listen, what you're not going to do, because I know what you're closing. I've met you. I know what you're closing argument. No.
What I'm not going to do, just for the record, this is unedited. I was being quiet. I was listening. And then out of nowhere, I get what you're not going to do.
I know the wheels, nigga. I know the wheels. And the wheels on this bus were eventually going to get us to the chocolate room at Harrods. That's where these wheels were going to go. Because
I wasn't even thinking about it.
What? That you don't know how to do this right?
No. I wasn't even thinking about it. And I'll tell you why. Because I was going to let you punch yourself out. Because in my mind, yes, there are some situations where we're talking apples to oranges. But it's apples to oranges because chocolate can go so many places that vanilla can't. All right. You talking about not all up in people's Halloween. Let's talk about the fact that really a lot of people don't even want vanilla like that. So vanilla can call itself classy. It can call itself sophisticated. It can call itself particular and choosy, but nobody is choosing vanilla. When was the last time you saw a vanilla fountain at a party? Help me.
You can't, because vanilla doesn't come. Because vanilla doesn't come in a liquid form like that, okay? That's not happening.
Sounds like it's not versatile. It's not versatile.
It's not the best you've heard in a while. What I'm saying is that... Thank you for getting that reference. That versatile, don't just shake it, working with style. What I'm saying is that because of what vanilla is, also, you know that chocolate in them damn chocolate fountains is never high quality. It's never great. It's never good. Come on. Don't be using chocolate fountains. Nigga, they got nacho cheese fountains too, okay? I don't know if you ever saw. Have you seen this clip from TLC? Where this woman talking about her wedding and she wanted a ranch fountain. She wanted a ranch fountain, Josh. Honestly, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see a ranch fountain, okay? I'm sure they have a marinara sauce fountain. We out here putting anything liquid in a fountain.
I honestly think a marinara sauce fountain can't happen because it would be far too splashy. Like you can't even approach that thing without messing up your whole shirt.
It is splashy. You need something that's kind of that makes me think that a ranch fountain would be splashy too.
It might be, yeah. Because
you need something that'll come down in a ribbon. You need something that'll hold its shape.
Something beautiful and smooth like chocolate. I'm with you. I understand.
Nacho cheese. Nacho cheese. Something that when it's room temperature is solid. That's what I'm talking about.
You know that this is tantamount to terrorism, all right? Because
terrorism is ketchup is tomato soup. Salsa is tomato soup.
Honestly,
call Bin Laden. You are his predecessor. You are his greatest student. When you sat up and looked me in my Christian face and told me that salsa was tomato soup, you fucking savage.
Look. All I'm saying, all I am getting at, all I am approaching you with, is the fact, the
adulterated?
No.
Mitigated?
No. The unquestionable fact.
Not questionable, bro.
That chocolate is going places and doing things that vanilla is too limited to do.
I think about this. You know how we're all into all these nut milks?
Some of us are, yeah. Some of us know what a lie is.
True. It's juice.
Yeah.
It's juice.
Yeah.
I want us to stop doing this. You had to blend up these cashews and squeeze them.
Juice.
Yeah. Also, why is there no peanut milk? Why we pick these very specific nuts?
Yeah, we need some peanut juice out here.
We need some peanut juice. Is there pistachio milk? You know what I want to like?
I think so.
Is it? That sounds expensive.
It sounds very expensive because if you've even held eight pistachios, you've held $6.
So there's never going to be macadamia milk because that's going to be $150 a gallon.
That honestly, macadamia milk is what I feel like rich kids get with their babies.
That's so funny.
Just a buttery milk.
All I'm saying is that because there is yes, chocolate can do different things than vanilla can do because of just the nature of the plant, right? Like an orange tree can do more than an oak tree. Mm-hmm. Oak tree just standing there, putting shade in your yard.
Yeah.
Orange trees give you fruits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, somebody was like, I found out that some cities, you know how people have like tried to say that like the trees that are in cities should be like food bearing trees for like people in the population who are having like, food issues, like food scarcity or whatever, or people who are unhoused. There are a lot of cities that don't allow you to have fruit bearing trees in the city because for that reason, they're like, no, we don't want people to be able to.
Oh, it's wild.
That's wild. Like every tree, like I get if you're in fucking Oklahoma or like Colorado trying to grow an orange tree, that makes no sense. But just have it like appropriate to where your climate is. People are evil. Anyway, for the same way that oak tree can't do what an orange tree does, because of the nature of said plants, vanilla is not going to do what chocolate does and vice versa. You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying.
The reason I've never been a huge chocolate fan is because, first of all, like the first time I had like European chocolate, I was like, oh, this is so much better. Because it's not what we have. Also, whoever put chocolate and peanut butter together, God bless that human being, because that is fucking delicious.
I wonder what happens when you put vanilla and peanut butter together. Do you just throw up immediately, or do you like? I'm just saying. I don't know.
Those are two competitive. Some stuff don't work together. Chocolate and vanilla don't work. Listen, you ever as a kid got Neapolitan ice cream? My question is, which flavor was always left in the container when you got Neapolitan ice cream? What was the last one? Was it strawberry? Because my house was always strawberry.
I feel like it varied based on
who was in the house.
Yeah. I feel like after the divorce.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like my dad ate the chocolate the fastest.
Okay.
And then when it was just my mom and I, the whole distribution was just different. Like you would just see it looked like like when you're playing music and you got a little icon with the levels in it.
Yeah.
The race to the bottom just looked like that movement. So I'm trying to think of what was like last.
I think for us it was always the strawberry. But I can say my mom, and I loved it, would buy, you remember those huge tubs with the handle on them of the vanilla ice cream?
Yeah, I think so.
It was a plastic tub with a red handle on it. My mom would buy that when I was a kid. And so, because I remember as a kid not liking how chocolate ice cream tasted because it had a weird ass aftertaste. And even as an adult, having tried very expensive chocolate ice cream and, gelatos and shit, and being in like nice ass places, traveling the world, I still get that weird ass aftertaste from a chocolate ice cream. I think sometimes chocolate cake. I think I like a lighter. Now, I love a brownie. Brownies are my jam because brownies for me seem to be the right balance of chocolate to other things. Like chocolate cakes, I'm not always like a chocolate cake. That's too much. I need something else to like break this shit up.
Can I offer up one extra thing?
Try it.
I don't think that when you go to other countries, you get the good vanilla. I think that what's happening is the pinnacle of vanilla we've already tasted, and it's fine. And then you go to another country and you have their chocolate.
What do you think the pinnacle of vanilla is?
I think the absolute best vanilla I've ever had was something that really brought out the flavor of the bean. And it did complement the other flavors that were with it. Because what are your favorite, just as an example, what's your favorite type of vanilla pie?
What do you mean vanilla pie?
Like, do you count cheesecake as like a cake? Do you count it as a pie? I'm trying to think of times we put pies with lots of vanilla flavor.
Why don't we put vanilla flavoring in cheesecake?
Because you know how you can have a chocolate pie.
Yeah, like you can have a chocolate pie, you have a chocolate pecan pie, you can have a chocolate pudding pie.
Yeah.
Banana pudding is a very famous vanilla flavored situation. There's bananas in it.
There's bananas in it, and sometimes those bananas completely overpower the vanilla.
Oh, I am the person that always picks the bananas out because I don't like bananas. I love plantains.
That's for another day. Wow. You heard it here right now at minute whatever of this episode.
Yeah.
Plantains versus bananas is gonna happen.
Oh, you know what? Our next episode, plantains versus bananas. We're doing it.
Please,
you ready?
Please don't.
You ready?
You
ready?
set yourself up. You set yourself up.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Come with it.
I don't think you're really ready to lose back to back.
You're not ready to lose back to back. Your greatest failure was salsa and tomato soup.
Mm-hmm. Episodes ago, you're still clinging on to that old.
Ma'am, that was not episodes ago. Okay, don't do that, ma'am. Don't do that.
When you even have a topping, there's not that many vanilla toppings that go on to chocolate ice cream, but there's lots of chocolate toppings that pop all over that vanilla scoop. Okay.
So you're saying that there is no vanilla toppings?
Just not many.
What if chocolate is just loose? What if chocolate is just for the streets? What if chocolate is doing too much? What if chocolate? Chocolate's doing too much.
No. You are not gonna call my delicious mocha, my delicious dark, my delicious milk. You're not gonna call all of my chocolates hoes. That's not what's gonna happen.
I'm just saying that it had to be so versatile because it could not focus.
We need to sit down and pray for your loose, your plain, your basic vanilla. That's what we need to do.
What if chocolate is doing all of this because it couldn't there's no refinement, okay? Maybe it's McDonald's, okay? Maybe it's McDonald's. Maybe it's out here just throwing anything.
You need to slow. You need to slow where you're going right now because you're about to crash. All right,
I ain't got to do
you're about to crash. You
nothing.
sound, as someone who was the tomato soup, you sound like the tomato soup right now.
Don't you
because
dare.
when you say,
but I know chocolate
is
still chocolate. I know I know chocolate is still chocolate. I'm not finna sit up and say that. Listen, salsa will never be tomato soup. Okay.
When you
Chocolate
sit
will
there,
always be doing all of this out here. Okay.
when you say that what if chocolate is McDonald's, please remember, please remember what flavor a McFlurry is, and is
Vanilla.
only vanilla.
And then you just add stuff. It's like a Blizzard at Dairy Queen. It's a base. It's giving, what it can do is it can give you other things. Or it could just be an ice cream cup. One of the first things one of the first time as a child that you was able to use a machine, from the first time you saw an ice cream cone coming out of a machine, it was vanilla or vanilla chocolate swirl. But it was vanilla day one, baby. Vanilla been here since you had teeth.
That's simply not true. It was vanilla or chocolate or the swirl.
Hey, you out here? So your machine had 3 nozzles. Congratulations! Look at God.
And look, I know what you tried to do. You tried to get me to go off the rails, and it's not going to work.
No. Listen, you got to go off the rails
because
the rails are fine and established. All I'm saying is you are really coming at me like you own Hershey's, like you own Lindor, like you own all of it. Don't mean nothing to me. Okay?
No, name me one of the vanilla companies. Go ahead.
What you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? You just started rattling it off. Chocolate companies. Tell me those great, beautiful, powerful empires of vanilla.
What?
They don't exist.
Madagascar, baby.
The country?
It's their... You said empires. That is their... McCormick, okay? That's who's out here giving you vanilla. But this is the thing. I named chocolate companies. You've never had... You can buy vanilla beans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do whatever you need in your life. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can't go pick up a bag of cacao beans. That's not happening. You got to process this. You just can't show up and be like, hey, let me get that pod. Let me get that giant bean and get the seeds out. Dry these seeds, ground them, add sugar, because what you have to remember is that you've never had chocolate in its pure form. Chocolate is not sweet.
It's not about being sweet.
It's saying.
About being delicious. It's about being versatile.
And they add all they do is add sugar to it. When they do something with a vanilla bean, you infuse it with a cream. You can have the vanilla flavor. You ever had Baker's chocolate?
The bittersweet?
No. Baker's chocolate.
Just the big brick of chocolate.
Yeah, but the thing is, Baker's chocolate is actually the true form of chocolate because there's no sugar in it. We all remember the other episode of Roseanne where DJ bit into Baker's chocolate. He's like, ugh. She's like, yeah, I tried to tell you 6 times. So, what I'm saying is, chocolate in its raw form, it's not good if you put sugar in it.
That's simply not true.
Have you had plain chocolate?
I have had plain chocolate. And I've also had the darkest of dark chocolate from...
They still put sugar in it.
No, I know, but that one, when you go to like Ecuador, you go to these countries that do the 95%.
So for you to prove this point, you had to go to Ecuador?
I didn't have to go to Ecuador. I'm simply saying that at every level of putting sugar in chocolate, all the way to no sugar, it was fire. All the way to no sugar. So from no sugar, all the way to just sugar, chocolate is dope. And it's useful. It's useful.
If it was dope, how come nobody's... If it was dope, chocolate with no sugar. Why is that not something you can really... other than like big ass brick or Baker's chocolate, which also looks stepped on. No one's... Because dark chocolate... Because they've given us dark chocolate, given us milk chocolate, given all those things, right? Mm-hmm. So dark chocolate is chocolate that has no milk in it. Is that what dark chocolate is?
No, dark chocolate has less sugar, almost no ingredients. Like when you see the percentages of like the cacao in it, that's when you know it's like truly not only just quality, but also healthier for you, because there's almost no ingredients at all. The only ingredient will be what they put in it with the mix. So if you have like a matcha dark chocolate, you'll read it and it'll say like the bittersweet chocolate, the matcha green, and cane sugar will usually be like one of the last ingredients, which means they put the least of that in there.
They let these people put grass in this chocolate?
You can put anything in chocolate.
What about matcha?
Yeah.
Tastes like grass.
I've had it, and they made it very good.
It's grass. It's very complicated to make, but it tastes like fresh lawn.
Because your vanilla is like a platform. You said it yourself as a carrier.
No one's
right.
making money off of, okay? I'm not making no money off of this vanilla. You're not making no money off of this vanilla. So you're making no money off this chocolate latte. Okay?
Then vanilla in general is like a carrier. It's a platform. It's like an elevator floor. All right.
But it can also,
chocolate is the whole house.
No,
it's
but
the whole
thing is,
house you're in.
But vanilla can be at, listen, when you look at these specialty flavor ice creams, chocolate is not always the base. Because if you put a bunch of stuff in a chocolate ice cream, it just tastes like chocolate ice cream. Right? But vanilla, throw a little caramel swirl in it. Throw a little fudge swirl. Hey, do both. You're an American. Nobody can stop you. You're awful. So, out here throwing all kinds of things in this ice cream, right? Because it's a collaborator, okay? Chocolate is a bully. It's pushing all other flavors out the way. Like, I do this.
This is wild. Hey, I'm telling you, as someone who's been where you are right now, this is a mirror, okay? I'm trying to help you the way you tried to help me. Chocolate is a bully.
Okay, it's sitting up melting in your hands, getting all over your face, making you look like that you ain't a college graduate. All right?
Why are there so many chocolate candies and there aren't that many vanilla candies? We've already established that bars.
Because of the nature of the plant. For the same reason that there's orange juice and not pine juice. There's no flower, like you get juice out of fruit. We're not asking plants that don't have fruit to be juice. So
wait, what was that apple juice versus pine juice thing?
You're saying that there's no vanilla bars, and there's no vanilla bars because of the nature of vanilla.
And now I'm asking why there's no vanilla. There's no vanilla M&Ms. There's no vanilla. You know what I'm saying? Like loose candies.
Because it is a flavor that comes from. Think of it like more like a herb, because it's a plant that gives you a flavor. So like your bay leaves, oreganos, stuff like that. So you're not going to get the same things out of vanilla that you get out of chocolate because of the nature of the plant. You can't squeeze vanilla and get oil. Like you can't get oil out of you can get soybean oil, canola. I still don't know what a canola is. But
yeah, I've never met a canola.
I've never seen her in the streets. I've never seen her out here working. She does what she does, right?
Yeah.
But also sesame oil. What a tiny seed.
Giving us flavor.
Giving us flavor, bro.
Like I remember the first time I had something with sesame oil in it, and I was like, I think that must have been the devil, because that was just too much flavor hitting me all at once. That was insane.
And you've ever eaten a sesame seed? It didn't give you all of that.
No, I've had an everything bagel and it tastes like nothing.
Nothing. So the fact that they're really out here, they were like, listen, we got these tiny ass seeds. We're gonna squeeze on this plant. We're gonna do something out here, right?
What I will offer up though is to your point of think of it as an herb. There are herbs that can be candied that we have mints. A mint is an herb, right? Isn't a mint an herb?
You're boiling. There's vanilla candy. We know there's vanilla candy.
I know there's vanilla candy. I'm asking you to offer up what vanilla candies stack up to all the chocolate candies that are out there. I'm not saying why aren't there any. I'm saying what do you think is a good vanilla candy?
Honestly, my favorite candy is Reese's Pieces. Yeah.
Oh, why would you tell me? Why would you offer it up on camera?
It used to be Butterfingers. It was Snickers, Butterfingers.
Oh.
And then
you're killing me right now.
And then I just got to the source where it was just like, I just want peanut butter. That's all I want. So now my favorite candy is Reese's Pieces.
I will throw it out there one more time because I feel like I didn't quite get my question answered from before.
Well, what?
We both agree that we had chocolate in all of its forms here. And it wasn't until we either traveled abroad or had the chocolate from abroad that we were like, wow, this is it. Right?
Yeah.
I'm asking why you think that the vanilla that we have isn't better in other places. I'll offer it up, extend the olive branch. I've never had Madagascar vanilla, but I also haven't had any vanilla that was better than the vanilla I grew up with. And that's where the refinement is bumping me, because you talk about refined sophistication, can't be everywhere, can't be doing everything. But then when it's doing any other thing, it tastes just like it did when it was doing the other stuff.
Wow. So did you ever have the vanilla Tootsie Roll?
I did.
When Tootsie Roll came out with flavors, now I can say Tootsie Roll don't do chocolate that great. So
No.
I was not impressed. But I can tell you, it was the strawberry one that they did.
The strawberry, the orange is pretty good.
Banging. I think Tootsie Roll has really just missed the mark. Like, fuck it. Just roll
It
this
should have
one.
been flavors the whole time.
Should have been flavors the whole time.
I would agree with that. I have no problem offering up that not every chocolate company is doing chocolate to the degree that it deserves.
Right.
You know? But I just don't know what vanilla is doing. I feel like vanilla is the flavor of the 1700s. You know? It's just it's time has passed.
I don't think its time has passed. I think it's still giving us, because there's like, you know, we've got vanilla fudge, we got other vanilla candies, you know, little cream savers. That's vanilla. Vanilla fudge, I was surprised about it. Also, I realized vanilla is like, fudge is too much for me sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I can always get down with fudge.
Now, is every fudge chocolate?
No. You can have like the toffee fudge. Remember
You
when
can
we
toffee
were,
fudge. Yeah.
you know, different flavors of fudge. I thought
Gotcha.
fudge had to be chocolate. Until I went to college with a lot of white women, and they were like, "Oh no, girl, you can make fudge anything." Because there's peanut butter fudge. You made peanut butter fudge.
Yeah, I've had peanut butter fudge. I just assumed that there was a little bit of chocolate in it.
Now I can say I don't know what the hell fudge is. Truly, I saw a girl make it in the
Fudge just
microwave
seems
sometimes.
congealed
Something.
of the thing that you're eating.
I think there's condensed milk in it. I think there's a thing. You can make fudge different. I've had peppermint fudge, all kinds of fudge. Because, you know, we've all been to a mountain town. And been to a, oh my God, I just had the word for it. General store. But yeah, I'm just saying that, like, no, there's not a lot. I don't know there's a lot of mainstream, out here every day, vanilla candies. No, that's not a thing. While chocolate is everywhere. But
Maybe
think,
it's the demand and they have to up the supply.
what are you talking about? Chocolate?
Yeah. I think that vanilla, maybe it's just not in demand like that. So then they get by how they can get by. You have to get it how you live, as they say.
So you're...
You know, in the streets.
And if anybody's in the streets, it's chocolate. Vanilla is a flavor. Chocolate is a thing. If that makes sense.
Nope. I will not let you do this.
As in,
This is
like,
how
you know
conspiracy
we said-
theories start. This is
No,
like,
no.
vanilla's a flavor, chocolate is a thing, all right? And it's not a thing from this world, and it's an
No.
inside job. You can find the real chocolate, the original chocolate, at Area 52. That's the area they don't tell you about. Nah.
What I'm saying, for the same way that, like, in the same way that mint can't be a bar. Mm-hmm. Mint doesn't do what chocolate does. But you're not out here attacking mint.
Because other people have not had the audacity to compare mint and chocolate. They'll put
I'm only
the
comparing
mint
flavors.
in chocolate.
See,
you
that's
know?
what I'm saying. I'm comparing flavors. You are trying to compare carriers of the flavors, bars, cakes, ice cream. So I'm talking about the flavor.
I'm with
talking
you.
about the
I'm
flavor.
with you. I'm just saying I'm proving that there's a better flavor by where it goes and what it can do and how many people want it in all its
you're saying
forms.
that because it has a bigger distribution because of the nature of the plant because of what it can become.
I'll make a full plain flavor argument right now. Okay? In a chocolate milkshake and a vanilla milkshake at a diner, a mistake that I often see it happen. I've had it happen to me throughout my entire life. When you get a vanilla milkshake,
Yes.
the ratio of milk can be off, and it can easily be off because vanilla is a carrier. The distribution of milk and chocolate in a chocolate shake is much harder to mess up, because if you put too much milk in a chocolate shake, it's not even going to look like a chocolate shake. It's going to look like a dirty milk, you know?
So you're saying just because vanilla and milk are both white?
No, I'm saying what I've had happen to me in my life has been milkshakes, whether they were chocolate or vanilla. The vanilla, sometimes it can't even overpower the milk. Now I'm just drinking some cold milk with some ice in it with a little bit of vanilla flavor.
So because you've been to a diner owned by some cheap motherfuckers who bought cheap ass ice cream or thought that somebody wouldn't notice because they didn't put enough vanilla ice cream in to this milkshake. This is vanilla's fault? Because I've had some very amazing vanilla milkshakes, but honestly, my milkshake of choice is strawberry. Or a cookies and cream. Or have you been to the Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, the peach.
The peach one.
Oh, the lemonade one.
The frosted lemonade.
Yeah.
Or a mint cookies and cream shake.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the fact that you're not saying vanilla is a bit telling.
I've said vanilla, and I also said other things that I like. Mm-hmm. Because, one, I'm not always a milkshake person, okay?
Okay.
But you know what I love? I love a Blizzard from Dairy Queen. But yeah, all I'm saying is that I'm not trying to win here.
Real quick, I'm so sorry. I'm just, because I also know we have to wrap up soon. You reminded me. You know how at Dairy Queen they're supposed to flip the Blizzard upside down to show you how thick it is, and there's nothing like when it falls out, because the cashier and the driver just looking at it on the ground, and then they got to go do another one. But it's like when the confidence that they flip it, and it almost never falls out. So then when it's a little too thin and they go.
Well, that's why you ever seen on the British Baking Show, they're like, oh, your meringue is good if you can turn it over above your head and it doesn't fall out. And I'm like, why are we testing this that way?
It doesn't have to be the head. Yeah,
it doesn't have to be your head. It could go over your workbench. I would test it over a trash can. Like, why is it? Because you'll see them just like looking up at it like, I hope it doesn't fall out. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're international television. You must trust you a lot, or you trust these peaks to really be popping like this. I know that a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but that's because we all love a chocolate bar. You know, it wasn't, Charlie and the Vanilla Factory. That didn't happen. So I understand that people have a place in their hearts for chocolate. I didn't expect to win this. Okay? I just wanted to have the discussion. So listen, I'm Dulce Sloan, okay, on the things DULCESLOAN on all of the social media platforms that make you question your self-esteem. And this is my friend, my cohort, my buddy,
Josh Johnson. And you can find me on all the stuff at Josh Johnson Comedy. TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. Hit me up on Instagram. Let us know in the comments of these videos that get posted what you think. And feel free to let us know what you'd love to hear us talk about next. If there's a classic duo that you think one's better than the other, if there's a classic rivalry that you want to get our thoughts on, y'all just let us know. But we appreciate you listening. We hope you had fun listening. And I hope you have a great day into the weekend.
Call your mom.